Your brain is a quiet miracle. It rests inside your skull. A soft 3-pound organ of immense complexity and power. It is here that everything you know, everything you feel, everything you are comes into being. Within its delicate folds, a universe of activity sparks to life. Contained within this small space are approximately 86 billion neurons. That number is almost impossible to truly comprehend. It is more than 11 times the number of people living on this planet today. Imagine a vast city at night, seen from space, each light as a single active cell, all communicating in a silent, brilliant symphony. This is not just a collection of cells. It is a living galaxy of thought and feeling. Each of these 86 billion neurons acts like a tiny biological computer, processing information and sending signals across a staggering network. These electrical and chemical whispers are the very foundation of your consciousness. The brain is not a uniform mass. It is a masterpiece of biological engineering, with distinct regions that have evolved over millions of years to perform specialized tasks. At the top sits the cerebral cortex, the wrinkled, outer layer responsible for your highest thoughts. Reason, plan for the future, understand complex language. Beneath it lie older, more primal structures. The limbic system, deep in the center, is the seat of your emotions, fear, pleasure, attachment. At the very base is the brainstem, the ancient reptilian core that manages the essential automatic functions that keep you alive, breathing your heartbeat. Each of these regions is essential, but the brain's true power comes from how they are connected. The 86 billion neurons do not exist in isolation. They reach out to one another, forming an intricate web of connections called synapses. There are not millions or even billions of these connections. There are trillions. Some estimates place the number of synapses in an adult brain at over 100 trillion. Each synapse is a tiny gap where one neuron can pass a chemical message to another, like a microscopic messenger carrying a critical note. One of the brain's most profound secrets, it does not simply react to the world, it actively predicts it. Your brain is not a passive receiver of information waiting for sights to arrive, waiting for sounds to arrive. Instead, it is a powerful predictive machine constantly running simulations of the immediate future. It uses your lifetime of past experiences, your memories, your knowledge to make a continuous stream of best guesses about what is going to happen next. This process is so fast and seamless that you are almost never aware of it. It is the silent engine that makes your reality feel so smooth and stable. Think about catching a ball. You don't consciously calculate its trajectory speed, the force of gravity. Your brain does it for you, instantly. It predicts where the ball will be in the next fraction of a second, allowing you to move your hand to the right place at the right time. When you listen to someone speak, your brain predicts the next word in the sentence before they even say it. This is why you can understand speech even in a noisy room. We often think of memory as a video camera, faithfully recording events. But science tells us something very different, and far more interesting. Memory is not a recording. It is a reconstruction. Not a file you pull from a drawer, but a story you tell yourself anew each time. Every time you access a memory, your brain does not simply play it back. It rebuilds the memory from scattered pieces. Those pieces are stored across a vast network of neurons. In the process, the memory can, and often does, change. Each act of remembering is an act of creation. Your brain pulls together core fragments, the sights, the sounds, the key facts. It also fills gaps with new information influenced by your current mood, your present beliefs, the context in which you are remembering. Details can be added. Others can be forgotten. The emotional tone can be altered. Your brain is, first and foremost, a survival machine. Its most ancient and powerful directives were forged over millions of years of evolution in a world filled with immediate life or death threats. For our ancestors roaming the savannah, survival often came down to a split-second reaction. The person who instantly noticed the rustle in the grass that might be a predator survived. The person who stopped to admire the sunset might not have been so lucky. Evolution hardwired a powerful survival mechanism into our brain architecture. This mechanism is known as the negativity bias. Simply put, your brain pays more attention to bad news than good. It is designed to scan the environment for potential threats. It is designed to scan for potential dangers. It is designed to scan for potential problems. Negative stimuli, a threatening face in a crowd. Negative stimuli, a sudden loud noise. Negative stimuli, a critical comment. These capture your attention faster and hold it longer than positive stimuli. The brain treats potential losses as far more significant than gains. Losing $20 feels much worse. Finding $20 feels less impactful. In the ancient world, this bias was advantageous. It kept our ancestors alert. It kept them cautious. It kept them alive. In the modern world, that wiring can create chronic anxiety and stress, not saber-toothed tigers, stressful emails, traffic jams, negative headlines, critical feedback on social media. Our brains react to these psychological threats with the same high-alert system. The alarm bells of the amygdala ring just as loudly for a social slight as for a predator. Much of the brain's monumental work happens behind a curtain deep below the stage of your conscious awareness. This vast, hidden realm is the subconscious. It is the silent operator that runs the complex machinery of your life, regulating your heartbeat, managing your deeply ingrained habits. When you drive a car on a familiar route, tie your shoes, type on a keyboard, you are not consciously thinking through every single micro movement. Your subconscious mind is handling the details, freeing up your conscious attention for other things. It plays a profound role in your decisions, judgments, perceptions. Neurological studies have shown that the brain activity corresponding to a decision can appear seconds before a person reports the feeling of having made that choice. Our conscious mind often acts more like a press secretary, announcing and justifying a decision that was already made backstage. This does not mean that free will is an illusion, but it does mean that our freedom is not as absolute as we might like to think. The subconscious works with the patterns it has been given. The key is to consciously and deliberately shape the inputs it receives. For a long time, it was believed that the adult brain was a fixed and unchangeable machine. The common wisdom was that after a certain point in childhood, the brain's circuits were set in stone. We now know that this is profoundly untrue. The brain possesses a remarkable, lifelong ability to reorganize itself. It can form new connections. It can change its structure and function in response to experience. This incredible capacity is called neuroplasticity. It is perhaps the most hopeful and empowering discovery in all of modern neuroscience. It means that change is always possible. Neuroplasticity is the principle that neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you think a thought, every time you practice a skill, every time you feel an emotion, you are strengthening the specific neural pathways involved in that activity. When you learn to play a musical instrument, the areas of your brain responsible for fine motor control and auditory processing physically grow larger and more interconnected. The more you practice, the stronger and more efficient those pathways become, until the skill feels effortless and automatic. The brain is like a muscle. The parts you use get stronger, and the parts you neglect get weaker. Your daily thoughts and actions are not fleeting events. They are actively sculpting the physical structure of your brain. The brain that evolved on the quiet plains of the savannah is now living in a digital metropolis of constant stimulation. Our modern world floods the brain with an unprecedented volume and velocity of information. Smartphones buzz with notifications. News feeds scroll endlessly with urgent headlines. Social media platforms offer a perpetual stream of novel content, all designed to capture and hold our most precious resource, our attention. This constant deluge of information, while entertaining, places an enormous strain on our ancient neural hardware, which was not built for this kind of environment. Much of this digital ecosystem is engineered to hijack the brain's reward system. A key player in this system is a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is not just about pleasure, it is about anticipation and motivation. It is the chemical that says, Pay attention, this could be important, and drives you to seek out rewarding experiences. Every like on a post, every new email, every surprising notification provides a small, unpredictable hit of dopamine. This creates a powerful feedback loop, compelling you to keep checking, scrolling, and refreshing, always chasing the next little reward. This can lead to a state of fractured attention and a constant, low-level craving for novelty. At the same time, the pace and pressure of modern life can trigger the brain's stress response system. When you perceive a threat, whether it is an impending deadline or a difficult conversation, your body releases the stress hormone cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol can be helpful, sharpening your focus and mobilizing energy. But chronic stress, from work pressure, financial worries, or the constant drumbeat of negative news, leads to sustained high levels of cortisol. Over time, this can be toxic to the brain, impairing memory, shrinking the prefrontal cortex, your thinking center, and making you more susceptible to anxiety and depression. You have taken a journey into the universe within your skull. You have seen its immense scale, its intricate design, and its powerful hidden mechanisms. You have learned that it is a predictive machine that crafts your reality, a storyteller that reconstructs your past, a survivalist wired for negativity. But most importantly, you have learned that it is not fixed. Through the power of neuroplasticity, your brain is constantly changing, shaped by every thought you think and every action you take. This is the ultimate truth. You are not just a passenger in your own mind. You can be its architect. The tools for this architectural work are not complex or mysterious. They are the simple, consistent choices you make every single day. The first tool is sleep. It is during deep sleep that your brain cleanses itself of metabolic waste and, crucially, consolidates memories, strengthening the important neural connections and pruning the unnecessary ones. Another tool is physical movement. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, stimulates the growth of new neurons, and reduces the harmful effects of stress. The food you eat is also a tool, providing the essential building blocks your brain needs to build and maintain its structure.